There it is. And so,
Nice. I see Yooz.
I, I'm sorry, you see it?
Should I see Yooz login screen? Is that good? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
All
Perfect.
right.
Thank you so much. So my name is Jonathan. I am a senior account executive here at Yooz. Been here for 5.5 years. Yooz, a little background on us. We have over 6,000 clients. We're in 44 countries. Process millions of documents a year, and we've been around since 2010, and we've grown quite a bit since 2010. And so, excited to show you Yooz and go from there. And so, what I'll do is turn my camera off so you don't have to get distracted with my hand movements. And so, this is the login. Yooz, you can access it anywhere on your phone or your tablet and computer too, as well. Everything's secure to here in the web browser. We also have an app where you can access Yooz as well. And so let's log on in. And so from there, let's log in. You will not see the screen. I'm associated with all my colleagues that have separate demos. And so we can jump into everybody's demo environment from there. And so what we'll see here at the top, so this is Yooz. And so what I did is I brought in one file. That file has an automatic split. So we have what's called a Yooz Smart Split tool. And so what it'll do is automatically, so no matter how you get those invoices in, either from email, we can have that automatically come over. We can create an email address. We could also, you can take a picture on your cell phone or tablet if you have any paper. And we can also take other forms to EDI. And then if you're ever getting any kind of invoice via link, right? So say someone sends you a link, you have to click in, log in. Yooz can now go get that for you automatically without your team having to do it. And we call it collect my invoices here at the top. And so you can give us access and we can just go in there, create that access and jump straight and go grab that invoice and bring it straight into the Yooz platform without you having to click each time every month. So what we'll do is we'll come back. And so some of those invoices stayed here at the top. And now if you want to automate the process just a little bit, down here at the bottom, we have what's called the in progress. Now you can see where things are located in the organization. So we'll see Amelia has a few things, Aaron has some things, Paige as well, all the way down from there. And so if you're doing purchase orders or purchase requests manually, we can help you with that piece. We'll actually activate this tab. It can have its own, you can create a purchase request and have a workflow approval really designed for your organization. We can have multiple people approving that purchase request or purchase order. And we can also have it then sent out automatically to the vendor if you're sending out, receive against it too as well. So really kind of automate that process if you're needing help with that. If you get your if you're doing purchase orders from another system or Intact or another Sage product, we will bring those POs over and it will sit in the back of Yooz from those systems. We have a lot of connections. We connect with over 250 ERPs, also a lot of purchase order systems as well. And so those will sit in the back of Yooz, ready to be matched against. And so let's start here at the top on our invoices. So our first one, we'll click and we'll see that you can let the system notify, you tell us when you want these documents to be late, when you want them to be reminded, so those people be reminded, notified again as well, or hey, maybe they're being a little bit slow on their task for the week and you want to remind them. We can have the system automatically remind or escalate that to their boss as well if you need to, which is really nice. So let's click on this first one that's saying late and let's take a look. Yooz has a lot going on, a lot of AI metadata. It reads every document, any type of document and file in 30 to 45 seconds. So when this file came automatically in from the email address, it read it, and we have what's called Yooz fraud detects. And so what it did was it picked up quite a few things, and we'll see that here at the top. So a duplicate document has been found. So we can view that document if we like. It's also saying this invoice is significantly higher than the previous invoices from auto services. So that's kind of unusual. And then also it's detecting our fraud too as well. So it's saying that something here on this paper is fraud. So Yooz with its AI, a lot of metadata, a lot of other things working. So it's picking up this new box pops in called fraud detection. When I select it, from there, the system actually tells me let's zoom this over a little bit, what it has been modified and we're considering as fraud. And so it's saying that our banking data has been modified. So it's saying over here that this piece in blue highlighted has been added to this document from there. In this case, what you can do is if you want to come back, we have an email function inside of Yooz where you can email the vendor, ask them that question about the fraud, or with Yooz, you have unlimited users. We can give as all your vendors access to as well. And we have a chat feature where you can chat with internal colleagues or with the vendor as well if they have access. And so right over here under comments, we'll just ask and we'll ask the vendor a quick little question. And then we can say, did you change your bank? And so from there, we'll send that over. Now the vendor will get notified either via app or email. Well, actually both, depending if they have the app downloaded. And then they can log into Yooz and they'll see that this comment attached with that particular invoice or statement from there. And so what we'll do here is we'll close this piece out. We'll come back. And then let's look at this next one really quick from there. I know our time is kind of limited. Happy to dive into more of this later if we have time. So if you're dealing with vendor statements, now imagine that vendor statement comes in, reconciles against all the invoices in 30 to 45 seconds. And so that's what it did here. So we have what's called Yooz statements. Vendor statements. And so when it came in, it read that this vendor and it read all the invoice numbers and it matched to all those invoice numbers over here in blue and hyperlinks it. And so we can see when I put my my mouse over that actual number, AI and a lot of other things are kicking in and reading on the page what's going on with that particular invoice number. And we can kind of go across here. So we'll see what's on the statement, what's on the actual document, gives us a check mark if it matched, the document date, if it's been approved, where it's at, if it's been exported. Also, other paid documents here. So you can also make payments inside of Yooz too as well. So if it's been paid, it'll update that information as well and gives you more if you want to block it or do task, which is really nice. And so we'll see here that this document right here is not matched and it tells us the actual dollar amount. We can click this link right here and it's going to take us directly to that particular invoice from there. Once it's in that invoice, we'll see from here, we can actually see that particular invoice and the dollar amount. We can email the vendor, chat, multiple things we could do from that standpoint as well. And so let's click the next and let's look at our next invoice. So once again, I mentioned POs. So if you're using POs, you're mainly matching those. Let Yooz take that over and match that for you. 2 or 3-way matching is what we can do on those matchings. And so, which is nice. And so what we see here is I'll put my mouse over the actual words, that AI metadata, everything's reading it, putting it to header fields over here to the left, reading that invoice to the far right in red and yellow. And so when I start tabbing on through, we'll see our invoice number pop up at the very bottom, red and yellow, our due dates, total amounts, pulling in our purchase order numbers as well, which we'll see, and then our line for our PO. If your POs have multiple different lines, not a problem. It'll come in and match to those as well. And so if everything here looks good, we just hit submit and then push this on through. The great thing about Yooz is our approval workflows are very powerful. So if you have simple workflows or no workflows, that's not a problem. If you have complex workflows, we could also handle those. We can have, I believe, up to 9 to 12 approvals for one particular document if you need it. And so that can be drilled down from just a vendor, a dollar amount. It can be drilled down by a single name or word on the page. I have a client that his name is Zach. And so every time it comes, Zach is on the invoice. And every time it comes in, it automatically goes to Zach's queue and skips AP, which is pretty cool. And so you can add any comments here too as well. I can't spell, but we'll go from there. Once you confirm, it flips it out and flips onto the next page and goes from there. Yooz being very configurable, a lot of stuff you can change with us, including our the format of the page here at the top. So if you're liking more of a longer page, you can really look at that and look at the screen too as well. With Yooz, you have a dedicated customer support rep that is with you and a dedicated implementation specialist that is with you. You can contact them here at the top under my name. So contact support. And then also down here at the bottom, we have a live chat where we can chat with Rex, Shalonda over here at the top, which is nice. And then your chat history is also in the back from there. With Yooz, we have a super powerful search tool, and I'll jump into that really quick. And so if you're looking for how to search for things, maybe you just know it has a single word like, let's come up with drum. So we type in drum, we hit enter. Let's do Toronto because that did not show up. And so once we search for that, it pulls out that Toronto. And so from here, everything that's on the page, it pulled Toronto from right here. So now imagine searching for things with just a keyword, typing it in. And then you can also, we'll come back and we can actually search, save those reports and have them here on the front. Once you click that report, this is really configurable to you. Yooz being very user-friendly, you just start typing in what you're looking for. It starts suggesting it from there. What I like to do on this is group this by and save it by people. So if you want to see where things are at, if you have workflows, you can group it by recipients, see exactly where things are located, who's late on different tasks, save that. And the great thing about our save search is you can share this with other users as well from there. And then we have reports. Well, this reporting feature, super powerful as well. You can have, you can name it, select if you want line level detail, exported data, etc. Once you do that, we'll create a report and it'll be over here looking similar to this. So you can really customize this, configure this, whichever way you're wanting you can see approval phases. You can see quite a few different things all the way down, processing times, just a lot you can see. The great thing about this report is if I turned it on prior to this demo, you would see a login and I'll be able to hit refresh and update this report live from this Excel template, which is nice. You can also export your data. So your data, your information is your information. So if you wanted to select these and then download them or export those, you can from there too as well. Also into an Excel or PDF. From there. Since I do have a minute, if you are using Sage Intacct, we do send over, we're a little different, and I want to show you that really quick. When we send those information over, we will send over the actual bill within a few seconds, along with the image, along with the comments, and along with the audit trail too as well. And that's all there for you within a few seconds, which is really nice. For the most part, that is it for me. I'm gonna finish a few minutes early. I really appreciate